All mothers struggle with the decision of continuing to work in their careers or to stay at home with their children. 7 years ago, I was expecting my first child, and I needed to decide, do I stay in my teaching career or do I stay at home? I was an English and French teacher to junior high by choice, and I loved it. I was becoming successful in the way of, I was beginning to win the hearts and minds of students. I was beginning to reach them, and they could see that they were improving not only in their studies, but in their character. They could see their own growth, and so could their parents, and it was exciting. I cared, and I didn't want to leave my job. It was very difficult for me, but what burdened me more is whether I stayed in teaching or whether I didn't, I wanted to give my kids everything. I could not bear the thought of my adult children turning 18 or in their 20s or 30s and making any destructive, unethical, self-destructive decisions. So I took the plunge and I decided to stay at home, and I resigned from my teaching post. It was a head decision for me. I didn't really want to. I so missed my job and I loved it. I loved working with those students. But I had a principle. I could picture my children being 18 years old, and I wanted to just know that I gave everything I could, that I have no regrets in the way I raised them. And some parents, and we make less money, and some parents have to work, and God's going to honor every decision we make so long as we just give it everything we can, give our kids everything we can, and just do our best. This is my best. My goal for my children is to help them to be holy, to help them to make good decisions, to help them to have good characters, to be patient and loving and kind. I just want them to do the right thing, and even when it's hard. And I know that when they choose to do the right thing, that's when they will have the deepest happiness. A priest once asked a little boy, "Does your mother teach you all your prayers?" And the little boy thought about it for a minute, and he said, "Well, no. She mostly just says at night, 'Thank God he's in bed.'" Six years ago, I had my first child, and I stayed at home, and I was bored, and I was alone. I had a lot of time for home renovations, lots of energy. I started private music lessons, because I also teach piano, and that worked great for my schedule. I could organize the lessons around my daughter's naps and when she needed to eat, and it's really a great setup. I wanted to do the right thing, and I wanted to give my children my time, my attention, and my love. I still passed by schools wishing I could go back and teach. I would see teachers walking out of schools, getting into their cars, and I'm like, I so badly want to go back. And it wasn't until 4 years later, 4 years of staying at home out of principle, that I was at a park with my best friend, and her children were playing with my children, and I looked up and saw a teacher coming out of school. Obviously my children are younger and it wasn't a school day for them. I looked and I giggled and I thought, I'm so glad I have the freedom here in this bright, beautiful, sunny day to just be with my friend and do whatever I like and have fun with my kids and be spontaneous. And I could be like her, coming out of school, having to work late and lock up and be responsible and having to have all those tasks on my shoulders. And that's when I realized the decision had gone from my head to my heart. My children are my friends. I love staying at home with them. My 18-month-old, I love to hug him and squeeze him, and he has a servant's heart. He likes to help. One day I came home with groceries, and there's a gallon of milk on the floor, and he tried so hard to pick it up. He tried 3 times. You could hear him grunting, and finally he gave up and realized he couldn't help me. He couldn't get that gallon of milk off the floor. Another day I was saying goodbye to everyone, and I had my guitar to go to a music practice, and my 18-month-old looked up and said, "Ah," and I could tell he wanted to carry my guitar for me. I said, "No, it's Micah, it's too heavy." He said, "Ah?" It's like, "Micah, no." "Ah." Okay, so I gave him my guitar and it dropped gently to the floor because he couldn't hold it. And then he tried to pick it up, 3 times. And finally he looked up at me and said, So he tried. He has such a beautiful heart. I'm so proud of who he is. My 4-year-old Celine, I love to play games with her. She's very bright. I love to do puzzles with her. And when we go shopping, I really don't like to shop for myself. She picks out things and I love what she picks out. She has a lot of fun. She goes around to different racks and she picks out different things that would look really good on me and Mom, would this work? Mom, would this work? And I love shopping a lot more because she's with me. My 6-year-old, she has a festive personality. We nicknamed her, her Indian name is Bella Marie Fun, Wet, Dirty Hilger. She just is a walking party. She's a great girl. I love to go out and jump on the trampoline with her. We're both really sporty and athletic. And she's already discovered my personality. She already knows how to make me laugh and tease me and tickle me. It's a lot of fun to be with her. Our family, my husband, my kids, we're all friends. It doesn't mean that, my husband and I still have to teach our children and discipline our children, but we love them. I love what I do. I'm happy to be at home. Yeah, I miss my job. Yeah, we miss the money. Yeah, I miss people saying, oh, there's a certain prestige that comes with being a teacher that is not quite there when you say, I'm a stay-at-home mom. People don't quite look at that and say, oh, wow, that's so amazing. Oh, I really respect that. But I'm more fulfilled. It's okay, because I'm proud of my kids. I've chosen to give unconditional love, and there's a huge reward for that. And I have no regrets. I am proud of who they are. Even now, when they're 6, I have no regrets. And so I encourage you, if there's anybody in your life, even if you're not a parent, if you don't have little children, it doesn't matter. If there's anybody in your life, a friend, a coworker, a niece, a nephew, a great niece, a great nephew, a mother, a father, a great grandmother, great grandfather, great aunt, we can still give unconditional love, give our time and our attention in little ways, anything little. Just give your unconditional love to anybody around you when you know they need it. It just reaps so much rewards. You don't have to make the same decision I did, but you're going to just love being so fulfilled when you dish out unconditional love.